Welcome to Hero Villains. Who do you think will win? Lightning Lad versus Storm. A confrontation between technological lightning and the fury of nature. Lightning Lad, also known as Garth Ranzz, is one of the founding members of the Legion of Superheroes. He possesses the ability to control and discharge electricity with massive intensity, enough to take down many enemies at once. His power does not stop at simple lightning bolts. He can also create electromagnetic fields, enhance his reflexes, and support long-range combat. Having gone through many fierce battles, Lightning Lad has proven himself to be a seasoned warrior, always ready to rush into danger to protect his teammates and his ideals. Storm, real name Ororo Munroe, is one of the most powerful mutants in the X-Men. She has the ability to control the weather on a global scale, from summoning storms and creating lightning to manipulating wind and atmospheric pressure. Not only possessing destructive power, Storm is also a brilliant strategist with the ability to control her emotions to maintain weather stability. When entering battle, she is not just a warrior, but also the embodiment of angry nature, overwhelming opponents with power that is both violent and sophisticated. Before we dive into the analysis, please press the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you all very much! Lightning Lad, or better known as Garth Ranzz, grew up on the planet Wynneth with his twin sister Ayla Ranzz. He possessed a quiet and reserved nature but had superior physical talent, always shining in sports and considered the pride of the Ranzz family. That excellence accidentally created a distance, causing his older brother Mech Ranzz to nurture a silent rivalry. Destiny struck during a space journey when the three siblings' ship was forced to make an emergency landing on the planet Korbal. In an effort to survive, Mech chose to harness energy from native creatures, but that decision quickly turned into a disaster. The lightning-powered creatures rose up, surrounding and attacking them with frantic electricity, like the anger of the universe itself. Amidst chaos and fear, the fates of the three siblings diverged in completely different directions. Garth and Mech survived, but in return, they carried a terrifying electrical power, an energy that was both a gift and a curse. Ayla was not so lucky. Her body vanished, transforming into a pure form of energy, fragile yet mysterious. A deep scar remained on Garth's face, and every time he summons his power, it glows, reminding him of the moment that changed everything, the moment his family would never be the same again. Garth Ranzz has stood on the front lines many times, facing the most notorious threats in the galaxy, most notably the Fatal Five. Under the close coordination of his teammates, he and the Legion defeated them in a fierce battle. However, before that victory could even cool down, danger erupted again when the Fatal Five escaped from the planet Takron Galtos and headed straight for Earth with a burning desire for revenge. Faced with the urgent situation, the genius Brainiac 5 proposed a daring hypothesis. To save the future, they had to go back to the past. Three members of the Legion traveled through time to the 21st century to find Superman when he was still a young man just learning to use his powers. When Superman was brought to the 31st century, Garth was the first to show skepticism. In his eyes, Clark Kent at that time was just a clumsy, insecure, and somewhat strange teenager. But over time, it was Garth who contributed to training and shaping Superman's courage. Under the pressure of combat and proper guidance, Superman's power gradually brightened, no longer a weak spark, but becoming a roaring thunder in the sky of hope. Finally, with his contribution, the Legion once again defeated the Fatal Five, closing the war with a resounding victory. Lightning Lad possesses the ability to absorb and control electricity as a natural part of his body. That energy is not only stored, but can also be flexibly redirected, turning into a powerful offensive weapon. His body acts as a perfect insulator, allowing him to harness enormous power without suffering any damage from it. This makes Garth a warrior who is both resilient and extremely dangerous in every battle. From his hands, he can release superheated electrical streams with characteristics similar to lightning bolts, but controlled precisely to every moment. Unlike natural phenomena, which are chaotic and unpredictable, Garth's power follows his will, weaving through space, bending trajectories, and hitting targets with amazing accuracy. Even in harsh environments like outer space, where no atmosphere exists, he can still maintain and control electrical currents steadily as if he were a living power generator. Although there are no official figures on speed or voltage, the power of these electrical bolts can be imagined as equivalent to natural lightning, which reaches speeds of up to approximately 160,934 kilometers per hour and temperatures of nearly 28,000 degrees Celsius. That is a level of heat sufficient to melt rock and soil into glass, creating burning marks on the battlefield. Each time Garth strikes, space seems to shake, and light flashes intensely as if tearing through the night, bringing a sense that is both majestic and terrifying, like the roar of a storm being released from its chains. In the early days of joining the Legion of Superheroes, Lightning Lad was still quite clumsy in controlling his power. At that time, Garth could only create small static sparks by clapping his hands together, more like a reflex than a true combat skill. But through perseverance and constant training, he gradually turned that raw energy source into a fearsome weapon that could fire powerful lightning bolts directly from his hands with increasingly perfect accuracy. A major event occurred when one of his arms was lost in battle. However, instead of weakening, Garth became more dangerous when equipped with a replacement robotic arm. This mechanical part not only compensated for the loss, but also amplified his power to a terrifying level, helping him unleash electrical strikes far beyond his previous limits. With the strongly increased energy, he was powerful enough to face extraordinary threats like Space Moby Dick or Prince Avilo's Devil's Dozen army. Nevertheless, when his natural arm was restored, Garth chose to give up the mechanical body part. That decision was not just a return to his original form, but also showed his belief in himself. Without needing artificial support, he could still master the lightning power within, a power tempered by will, experience, and the losses deeply etched in his journey of growth. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot, and you are the best person. Thank you very much. Now let us talk about Storm. Storm, real name Ororo Munroe, carries two special lineages as the daughter of Ndare, a strong and rebellious Kenyan princess, and David Munroe, an American photographer full of passion for exploration. She was born in Harlem, but when she was only a few months old, the family moved to Cairo, where her childhood began. A horrific accident occurred when a plane crashed directly into their home, taking the lives of both her parents. Although she survived, Ororo was buried under the rubble, and that very moment left her with a deep obsession with enclosed spaces. From a child with a family, she became a wanderer in the heart of a vast city, having to learn to survive by pickpocketing and stealing, struggling every day with hunger and loneliness. The dusty streets of Cairo were not just a shelter, but also a harsh forge, tempering the will to survive in the young girl. Deep inside, Ororo was an extraordinary power. She has the ability to sense and control natural forms of energy, from wind and rain to thunder and lightning, reaching a level that very few mutants can touch. With nearly infinite potential, she is classified as an Omega-level mutant, one of the most powerful entities in the world of the X-Men. That power was soon proven when she defeated the weather manipulator Deluge, confirming her position as an embodiment of angry nature. A major turning point came when Professor X, or Charles Xavier, found her and gave her a chance to change her destiny. He invited Ororo to join a new generation of X-Men, with the mission to rescue the original lineup from the living island Krakoa. No longer the wandering girl of years past, Ororo accepted the invitation and took on the name Storm. Storm is not just a mutant who controls the weather, but also one destined to face the very nature of destruction. Storm was empowered to carry out a mission of immense scale. She must restore the broken balance while stopping the wave of darkness that is silently spreading across the multiverse. Inside her exists a rare psychic ability, allowing her to connect with and control the elements that constitute the weather. With her will, she can call for rain in arid lands, ending droughts with downpours that fall like waterfalls. However, Every time she does so, there is a trade-off, as she must drain moisture from neighboring areas to maintain natural balance. Storm can also direct wind currents at will, from gentle passing breezes to violent storms with terrible destructive power. She uses the air itself to lift herself and her teammates into flight, reaching speeds that can exceed imagination while creating an invisible protective layer to keep them safe amidst pressure and friction. Not stopping there, she can also adjust temperature and humidity, summon fog, heavy rain, or even blinding lightning bolts that tear through the sky. Storm can concentrate her entire power into a single point, turning lightning into a precise weapon fired from her own hands. Sometimes, her control goes even deeper and more sophisticated, directly affecting the air inside an opponent's body, causing them to become disoriented or paralyzed. Storm not only masters the vast sky, but can also manipulate the weather right within enclosed spaces or artificial environments. Whether it is a closed room or a fully controlled area, she can still create local climate changes with amazing precision. Furthermore, her body reacts inversely to the surrounding environment. When the cold becomes harsh, her body gets warmer, while amidst scorching heat, she becomes as cool as an early summer breeze. Not stopping at controlling physical elements, Storm also has the ability to sense the world. She can see invisible electrical energy flows and feel the subtle movement of air and the elements forming the weather. The deep bond between her and the Earth makes her empathize with all forms of life, from tiny creatures to vast ecosystems. Beside her power, Storm is a true warrior. She is proficient in hand-to-hand combat, using knives and bow staffs with high precision and flexibility. Trained by the elite warriors of Wakanda and having her skills honed by Wolverine, she became a formidable marksman. Not stopping at combat, she is also an excellent pilot, a courageous leader, and a sharp strategist who always knows how to make decisions in pivotal moments. Storm once held the power of a goddess of thunder when using Stormcaster, a weapon forged by Eitri. This hammer functions similarly to Thor's Mjolnir, able to return to her hand after each throw. When holding it, Storm is not just a weather controller, but also becomes a symbol of divine power, where the sky, lightning, and will converge into a single, brilliant, and majestic entity. After years of fighting and growing, a completely new Storm emerged when she became the Queen of Wakanda, standing beside Black Panther, the man she had met in her youth. However, everything shattered in bitterness when Namor and the Atlantean forces attacked Wakanda, leaving wounds not only on the country but also within their own relationship. Storm has accumulated a list of formidable enemies both during her time with the X-Men and while operating independently. She has repeatedly faced dangerous names such as Magneto, Mr. Sinister, the Hellfire Club, and the destructive entity Dark Phoenix. Her superior power makes her not only a protector but also a target, as many seek to exploit or control her abilities at any cost. On several occasions, Storm has been caught in sophisticated manipulation plots. Loki once took advantage of a time when she was weakened to restore her power and then distorted her memories, making her believe she was the personification of a thunder god in order to undermine the reputation of Thor. In one incident, her memories were erased by Nanny, who intended to use Storm's powers for cruel plans involving superpowered children. Even Apocalypse saw a special role for her, seeking to turn her into a part of the prophesied group, intended to bring about a new era for mutants. Storm has long been haunted by a dangerous enemy named Shadow King, or Amal Farouk. Their encounter became the source of a long-lasting feud, as this entity continuously returns to cast darkness over her life, threatening both her teammates and those she leads. Storm's journey spans countless battlefields, from Earth to the far reaches of outer space, where she and the X-Men face constant threats. However, her deepest fears have also returned many times to haunt her. Her claustrophobia, a remnant of her traumatic childhood, unexpectedly resurfaces in dangerous situations, such as when Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy attacked Cassidy's keep, or when Doctor Doom transformed her into a living metal statue. In that state of imprisonment, her body was motionless, but her mind and power still rose up unconsciously, causing the skies across the world to grow angry and creating violent storms that mirrored her inner turmoil. Storm also had to witness the tragedies of those close to her. She saw firsthand Jean Grey being caught in the conflict between human emotions and destructive power when becoming Dark Phoenix, a result of the influence of the Phoenix Force. Although it was later revealed that it was not the real Jean, but only an embodiment of the cosmic entity, her ultimate sacrifice still carried profound meaning. To save countless innocent lives, Jean chose to vanish, leaving an irreplaceable void in the hearts of Storm and the X-Men members. Amidst losses and trials, Storm does not collapse. Pain becomes a part of her strength, silent yet intense. Every storm she creates is not just a natural phenomenon, but also the voice of her heart, her memories, and a vow that she will continue to stand firm, no matter how chaotic the world around her becomes. The confrontation between Lightning Lad and Storm unfolds like a true tempest, where pure electrical power clashes with the comprehensive authority of nature. From the very first moment, Lightning Lad takes the initiative, firing precise lightning bolts to overwhelm his opponent. He stands ready to absorb electricity if Storm summons lightning, turning her attacks into his own advantage. However, Storm does not choose a direct confrontation. She moves using high-speed wind currents, creating a thick mist to obscure vision while observing and analyzing the energy flows surrounding her opponent. Her composure and tactical thinking help her quickly gain the upper hand in controlling the match. Lightning Lad increases the pressure with continuous electrical discharges, attempting to close the distance using his flight equipment. In response, Storm summons violent vortexes to blow him away, while combining rain and thunder to turn the environment into an ideal conductive battlefield. Upon realizing her opponent can absorb electrical energy, she immediately shifts tactics, switching to manipulating temperature, cold winds, and air pressure to wear down his physical strength. These elements cannot be fully absorbed, causing Lightning Lad to gradually fall into a passive position. As the battle escalates, Storm expands the scale of the storm, enveloping the surrounding space and potentially affecting a vast area. The pressure shifts and the air is stirred, making it difficult for Lightning Lad to maintain a stable state. Even as he tries to unleash his strongest attack or fly high to escape the zone of influence, Storm remains close behind through her wind control, even summoning larger forms of energy to surpass his absorption limits. As her opponent begins to weaken, Storm ends the battle with a combination of close combat skills and precise lightning strikes aimed at the nervous system. In the final moments, the surrounding air seems to be drained, and the sudden change in pressure leaves Lightning Lad with no ability to resist. The battle closes amidst the whistling wind and residual flashes, where Storm stands firm as the embodiment of unstoppable nature. Storm is stronger and is the winner. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Follow me if you like. That is the video for today. Thank you very much.